Hey everybody, Tom the Dilettante here. Hope everyone's doing well. Just got finished watching the latest episode of Mandalorian, The Tragedy. Am I the only one geeking out about this show? Because that series is freaking awesome. And if you haven't seen the last episode of it, I highly recommend it. I won't spoil nothing, but it's totally worth it. Anyway, I wanted to pick up where I left off last week. I was hoping to have a fresh set of ditch light mounting brackets to install, since the last ones I tried from Rallytech just didn't quite fit the bill. I did end up talking to them, talked to them on the phone, conversed with them via email. They were very helpful, very gracious. They offered me a refund for the ones I purchased and are sending me a second set. Before I called them though, I actually ordered another set from Crawford Performance. Unfortunately, neither of them are going to get here in time for a weekend install. So even though last week I wasn't able to put in the lights and the brackets, I did get the wiring done from the relay block to the switches inside the cabin. So today I'll just walk you through that, show you that that setup does in fact actually work, and basically get everything set for when those brackets do finally get here. It'll be pretty much plug and play to get the lights installed. So check it out. All right, here's where we are as of today. I've got everything but accessories to plug in. I've got the power run from the battery to the relay block, the relays powered themselves, ground switch wires run through the firewall, and the switches inside the cabin connected. Check it out. Here's where it all starts, at the battery. We've got an 8-gauge power line running from the battery, zip tied along the firewall, running over to our board where it's connected to our 50 amp circuit breaker. From there, power flows into the fused distribution blocks to our 4 relays. Each relay's power, these blue wires, runs to these terminal blocks, which is where we'll connect our accessories. To energize our relays, we're ground switching them, meaning the switches in our cabin are placed between the ground side of the circuit. These grounds are also part of the terminal blocks for convenience, and as of last weekend, they're all wired up. So we've got our 16-gauge ground switch wires running from the terminal blocks, under the board, back along the firewall through some loom, and into this hole in the firewall where it heads into the cabin. On the cabin side of that firewall grommet, you can see I had to cut a slit in the rubber. I first did this when running my powered sub power lead, this blue wire here, a couple months ago. The 4 relay switched ground wires come through the same spot, snake up above the steering column, and pop out by the stock switch panel. From here, they each connect to one of our 4 switches, and each switch has a second lead to a common chassis ground. I was originally going to put in another 4-post terminal for this common ground, but I admit I got a little lazy and shoved them all into a single ring terminal connected to the hood release mounting bracket here. All right, so what, right? Come on, Tom, we're past the point where we need a payoff, and I agree. When I said I didn't have any accessories earlier, I lied. I've got some Baja Design lights. What I'm missing is some freaking brackets to mount them to. But because I really want to show you how this is supposed to work in the real world here, let me fab something up with the wiring harness I've got and pretend I have some mounting brackets, just so I can show you how easy this is supposed to be. So let's go. Okay folks, so since I don't have brackets, what I've done is I've temporarily mounted my Baja Design lights onto some temp mounts. Here, let me just show you. Ta-da! Okay, so I know this is pretty bad. I just put them on some 2x4 mounts for the time being, pretended like they're going to be where they're going to be. And as you can see, we've got the wiring loom all set. This came with the kit. And what we're going to do is we're going to play make-believe. Let's just pretend that I've got them mounted on with the brackets. And save for some cable management, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook it up to that relay panel and show you exactly how this is supposed to work. And I haven't done this yet, so if I've done everything right, I'll have a nice reveal, lights will turn on, and everything will be copacetic. If not, I'll include it just as an embarrassment and let you know how I fix it. So let's go. Here's the other end of that wiring harness that came with the kit, and this is going to plug into the part that you saw a little bit earlier. I've already begun to snake it behind the relay panel, and it's popping out here, and all I have is a power and a ground to connect. The ground, I went ahead and connected it to the chassis behind this OEM relay box, which is next to the ABS unit. And now all I have to do is connect the power. Now this way this is supposed to work, I just need to connect this to the power side of the switch I have dedicated to this setup. And I'm going to make it my second highest switch, which is relay 2. So, oops, before I begin, let me go ahead and pop the breaker. So I'm going to open that circuit. I shouldn't really need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. And what we're going to do is pull off this part of the terminal block, like I said, I'm not so much worried about cable management right now. And we'll get this set up. Okay, so now we have power to that circuit. Power will flow from relay 2 to the lights once I energize relay 2 using the ground switch. And all I need now is to plug this end into the other end of the lighting harness. Close my breaker, and I should be ready to go. Let's test it. All right, let's see if this works. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Success. Man, that power distribution center does exactly what I wanted it to do by design. I'm so excited. Basically, it's just a plug and play relay center, switchable from the inside. I got 4 options. All you need to do is connect your hot, ground it somewhere, and you're good to go. I mean, it's perfect. At this point, you know, I don't really care whether it's the Crawford Performance brackets or my second set of Rally Tech brackets. Whichever one comes first is going to be the winner. I can't wait to get these things installed, and quite honestly, I don't want to wait until it snows to try to be working on it on the outside. So I hope you like this one. If you're new to my channel and want to see more about this build, you can check out these videos here. It walks you through the construction of that relay block, the installation of the switches, and so on. If you've been with me for a while and are still watching, thank you so much. It's fantastic. I love sharing this stuff with you, and I'll try to keep the content coming. So until the next one, thank you for watching, and you all have a wonderful day. All right, now that's what I'm talking about. Success. Except for my thumb getting caught in the wire and almost ripping my mic out. That's not success. So let's do it again. So since I don't have brackets, what I've done is I've actually mounted my squadron lights. Squadron? Yeah. Let's just call them Baja Designs.